Hi there, today I'd like to share with you some thoughts on why taking time away from your regular work during your regular work hours can be a great way to help you build your business. So let's try and explain. What do I mean by taking time out to help you build your business? Right, well, a number of years ago, I joined a coaching program. It wasn't the cheapest thing on the planet, but what it forced me to do is once a month is to go away from my work, away from house, office, etc., and go and spend a whole working day with a group of other people who were also self-employed. Now, the idea behind this was to get together and to help one another to come up with ideas and to start beginning to implement some of those ideas while we were still in the room. And I can honestly say it made a massive difference to how much I got done, how the ideas that I generated, the ideas and feedback that I got. So what I want to do is just share some key points as to why it's good for everybody who is self-employed or running a small business to regularly take time away. Now, you don't necessarily have to join a coaching program, a formal one where you end up paying. At the moment, I get together once every 4 weeks with a few friends of mine who are also self-employed, and we normally have lunch and we spend the best part of the afternoon discussing what we're doing. And the idea is there just to kick ideas around, take a step back from their business. If we're thinking of something or we've got a problem, we share it with the group and we help one another with feedback as to how to solve problems, how to get stuff done, how to develop these ideas, and also with that little bit of accountability to go with it. In other words, by the end of the session, we've written down a list of things that we want to get done by the next meeting. And interestingly enough, when you're self-employed, typically you are your own boss. You are the only person you're accountable to. And that can be quite dangerous because unless you've got a really, really strong driver to keep you going, it can be easy sometimes just to switch off or let your mind wander or get distracted by stuff. But when you, even informally, are accountable to other people, it makes a massive difference because the pressure is on because somebody else seems to be pulling the strings. They're not, because you could ultimately say, no, I'm not going to do it. But there's a massive source of embarrassment when you go next time and you haven't done anything. I promise you, it will chip away. And what tends to happen in times like this is you struggle the week before the meeting or the days before the meeting just to get done what you said you were going to do. But the point is, it gets done. So there's just a quick idea. Do you know a handful of people you can get together with on a regular basis where you can help one another out? You all need to be on the same page. You all need to understand and know one another because you'll probably share things which are confidential. So you wouldn't want to invite people you don't necessarily know or trust. So do you know some people you could just get together? Doesn't have to be a formal thing. There doesn't have to be any money on the table. We just get together once a month for lunch, or once every 4 weeks for lunch, and just talk about what we're doing, talk about what we've achieved, talk about what we want to achieve in the coming few weeks, and then we write it down and hold each other to account. We have a WhatsApp group where we share thoughts, ideas, questions, but more importantly share those notes. Here's what Carl said, here's what X said, here's what Y said that we're going to do, and it really, really does work. Now, another idea which you could possibly do is just go away somewhere for a day. Now, I've done this in the past where I just go away for a morning or an afternoon. I've been driven to hotel lobbies and sat there drinking coffee, making notes. There's plenty of them, and oftentimes they don't really mind. They'll have a coffee shop there. They don't mind you using the lobby. They don't mind you using the Wi-Fi as long as you're spending some money. You could go and sit in a coffee shop for a few hours to have a think about what it is you're doing, to reflect on how things are going, etc., to try and flesh out ideas, do a bit of mind mapping or brainstorming, etc. The whole point of it is just to try and get away from your regular working space, disrupt that distraction of your regular working space. Now, I used to get really concerned about taking time out. So, oh my God, I just got so much to do. How on earth can I afford to take hours out or even a day? The mind would have exploded. The point is this, it was a refreshing time. It was a time almost to refresh your business brain. And it enabled me to come up with ideas, to develop out ideas, just to stop and think about what I was doing. Because what typically happens when you're sitting at your desk or sitting at your workspace, wherever it is you choose to work, you've got constantly bombarded. You've constantly got all this input of stuff you need to do. And it's very, very hard to be objective. It's very, very hard to step out and think, am I doing this right? Is there things I could be doing? Have I got ideas I want to develop? Have I got the time to develop them? How am I going to make this happen? And stuff like that. So getting away just for a few hours on a frequent basis can make a big difference to your ability just to step back, try and look at your business objectively, let your business brain breathe a little bit outside of all the hustle and bustle of getting stuff done. And I promise you, it will help your creativity. It will enable you to refresh. Now, it's going to be weird the first few times you do it, but the idea behind it is just to go away and just to think. Make a few notes and think. Free from distraction, free from emails, switch your phone off, put it on silent, etc. Put it away where you can't actually see it or hear it, and just sit and think. Get a notepad, not a computer, not a laptop, not an iPad, actual paper. And the reason I say that is because if you've got a laptop with you, for example, the temptation is to check your email or to check your social media or just to do this thing for that client. That's not why you're there. Why you're there is to take that step back, step away from the bustle and just think. Now, an idea that I had heard from a book by, I think it was Dan Meredith, How to Be Effing Awesome. And what he does, once a month, he books a train journey that's 2 hours away. From where he is, he gets on a train for 2 hours, sits and does this brainstorming, this time out, this thinking time on the train, goes somewhere, has some lunch in that and does a little bit of a walk round, a little bit of touristing while he's there, gets back on the train and finishes off what he was thinking about in the morning. Now, it's a whole day out. But it's a fantastic way of just getting out, doing something different, perhaps seeing somewhere new, having a different lunch. But more importantly, it gives them space. You know, when you're on a train, you can't exactly go anywhere, do much. And in the UK, trains Wi-Fi isn't brilliant yet. It's getting better. But he says it just really, really helps him once a month to get some thinking time, some brain expansion time, some ideas time, some reflection time. And I can promise you from my own experience, it just works. So whatever it is you choose to do, whether you choose to get together with a handful of friends on an informal but regular basis to hold each other account, to kick ideas around, to share concerns, I would recommend that you do it. You could even join a formal mastermind or coaching program where you get together and pay a facilitator, pay a coach to do this. I've done that. It can be very, very effective, even though it costs you money. And also, I'd recommend doing this anyway. Just go away for a few hours. We're away from your regular workspace. Sit somewhere you don't normally go and just have a think. Make some notes. Have a reflection. And I promise you, your business brain will expand. You'll come back, well, at least you should come back, refreshed, ideas, new motivation to get stuff done, make things better, but above all, just to be a better self-employed person. So I really, really hope you found that incredibly useful. Go and do it. I promise you it works. I've been there, done it. I know so many people who've done it. It works. But above all, like I said earlier, subscribe to this channel. It'd be good to have you on board. Got comments or questions? Let us know. Share it out far and wide. I'm sure a lot more self-employed people could do with hearing/seeing this. And that's it. I'm going to stop talking now. Appreciate you tuning in. Thanks a lot and bye for now.